tips for you for your inside-outside leg hang and how to really stick to the pole so that you're not sliding down as you transition. So I have a few things I want to point out regarding your points of contact. I'm a big fan of no hands when you're in your invert. And what I mean by that is I want you to be using the squeeze with the legs and the opposing force with the inside arm. Not the hand, but the arm. So thinking of an armpit squeeze. And if you take that inside arm and you want a straight, strong arm, spread the fingers wide so as if you're gonna smack something. So you want this really strong arm that's squeezing towards the center line there. So again, squish that pole on the inside. And you wanna keep that strong the whole time. If you stay strong with that nice straight arm, and again, lots of force pushing towards the center, that's going to give you a good stick on that inside arm. What I tend to see is that people will bend that arm, maybe because they are wanting to grab, or even if they're gripping with that inside arm. The bend in that arm then loosens that squeeze with that inside armpit. So this is a much stronger force smacking towards that center line than just the bend in the arm there. So that's one point. The other point is that when you are in your inside leg hang and you're hanging on that inside leg, you're going to twist inside. So if I'm on my inside leg, I'm going to twist towards the inside, okay, so that you're going in opposite directions there. When I'm in an outside leg hang, I'm going to twist to the outside. So again, I have that opposite forces going on. So I'm going to show you that from the floor. So if I'm in an invert, my inside arm again is going to squish that center line. So if I'm here, that inside arm straight and strong, squish, okay? So I'm going to keep that force nice and tight there. When you're in your invert, okay, so again, you're going to try to keep that hand free, because when you have your hand, one thing when it's in the way here, you tend to can't get your legs to squeeze the pole. So you want that inside arm, at least the hand free, so that the arm can squish that center line. Okay, now if I'm going to transition into an inside leg hang, I'm keeping that inside squeeze nice and tight as I bring that knee down, kind of thinking knee to chest here. Keep that squeeze, so this should be squishing that center line all the time. You can even use, so if you have that inside arm squeezing the pole, that outside arm can grab that inside leg and pull that even tighter as you transition. So once you're in your inside leg hang, you're going to start to twist to the inside. So the inside leg is pulling towards the center in that direction, and I'm going to twist towards the inside so that I have that opposite direction. Letting the weight of the leg hang, and then you want to make sure that your hips are squaring up with the ceiling. Easier to do in an inside leg hang, harder to do in an outside leg hang. So when I take that transition to go to the outside leg hang, I'm going to squeeze really hard on that inside arm, straight and strong. Squeeze the inner thighs tight as I transition. Before I take that inside leg back, I want to really think about my squish with that inside arm, and I'm going to push that inside hip up towards the ceiling so that my hips start to square with the ceiling. What tends to happen in the outside leg hang is that we rotate in towards the pole, and then you're just really hanging on that leg. But if you can take that inside hip and push it up towards the ceiling, straighten up there, that's going to give that opposing inside hips pushing up, outside leg is pulling down. So you have that force going in this direction. And of course you have that inside arm squeezing nice and tight there. So outside leg hang, I'm going to twist outside, okay? And that's going to help push that inside hip up. And I'm going to show you off the floor as well and talk you through it. So points That inside arm is gonna squeeze straight and strong. I'm gonna cross that center line with my arm, squeezing the pole in the center there. I'm gonna keep that straight and strong the whole time. So I'm really squishing that point of contact. When I go into the inside leg hang, I'm going to push the hips up so that they're square with the ceiling. I'm gonna twist on the inside. When I transition to the outside leg hang, I'm going to push the inside hip up to oppose that outside leg hang. That's gonna help square the hips up towards the ceiling. And I'm gonna twist outside, still keeping that force with that inside arm. So let's see if I can show you from this angle. So I'm gonna take that invert up. I'm gonna go to a basic invert here. I'm gonna squeeze, squish that arm. So I'm taking a strong straight arm, pulling back. Inside leg's coming down, I'm squeezing the inner thighs. Again, I'm gonna use that arm tight and strong. Outside arm could hold here if I needed that extra support. And then when I'm in that inside leg hang, I'm gonna twist to the inside. So that lets my hips square up. Don't be a toe hooker, keep the toe pointed. Squish that inside arm, and again, you're twisting on the inside. Especially in the transition, that's gonna help keep you nice and tight. Stack those knees, keep that inner thigh squeezed tight, keep that arm strong, keep that point of contact as you transition. As I go to switch to that outside leg hang, I'm gonna push the inside hip up so that my hips don't turn into the pole. I want my hips to square up. So I'm gonna square the hips up by pushing that inside hip up towards the ceiling, keep that inside squeeze, and again, I'm gonna twist to the outside. Okay? So that those points of contact remain strong all the way through. And as you're transitioning from move to move, make sure you know your points of contact. As you transition from one move to the other, that point of contact will probably change. You need to push a little harder in one spot or pull a little more in another. So you want to maintain those points of contact and know where they are as you're moving through your moves. Keeping the body tight and strong is a good way to maintain those points of contact. You do want to take a breath in each pose, relax into it, know where you are, get to know each part as you move through. Hopefully those tips help. Let me know. I'll see you for the next one.